Welcome, welcome, welcome. Commander Warflower here. Where am I? I'm in Obsidian Orbital in the Maia system. What am I doing? Trying to make lots and lots of money. How am I doing it? Doing missions from Professor Palin. What does Professor Palin really want? He wants these things. Resin, biological matter, and technology samples. So the first thing I'm going to do is I got to sell these commodities quickly. So I have lots of room in my cargo rack. This is a part of a reward. I just turned in a bunch of missions. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I just turned in a mission for Palin, so I'm going to undock, go outside of the orbital, turn around, and redock. As you can see, I'm taking corrosion damage. I am outfitted in a jump Anaconda, which is lightweight everything, small power plant, small distributor, engineered everything in terms of lightweight just to make it jump far. And I've got in the optional internals, I've got 9 corrosion resistant cargo racks, which gives me the ability to carry 18 tons of corrosive cargo without taking any damage. However, in an effort to maximize, I have, as you can see, have 26 right now, and I had 30 before, and I was simply overdoing it so that I could make more money on each of these missions. The safe route is to just get enough tonnage from the site where I gather these to be able to make it safely. However, if you want to push the envelope and potentially have corrosion issues, then you can do it the way I'm doing it, which is go over the 18, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 36 at times. All right, so I'm heading back into the orbital, as you can see. And then after I do a few of these missions, and you can see how quickly you can make the money, I can show you where you can gather these materials so that you can do this yourself. And I overshot the number 9 slot. I'm going to pull a big reverse here. The belugas at the Obsidian Orbital can get a little aggressive, so I sometimes try to just slip in. Let's see, we should be pretty close here. There we are. Let's have a look. Now when we dock, each time you dock in the Obsidian Orbital, you should get a mission from Palin. If you don't get a mission from Palin, it's usually because you don't have enough cargo space, or it hasn't been enough time elapsed since you dropped your last mission. So to circumvent that, generally what I like to do is I'll just log out and log into a different group, either solo, private, whatnot. As you can see, we received yet another mission from Palin. He says he needs to drop off 2 Thargoid resin at Darnielle's Progress. All right, we'll accept that.
Mission objective complete.
It will assign it into our transactions once we accept it. As you can see, it'll pay 8 million for the 2, and we're going to repair our ship, making sure that we're topped up right before, because Darnielle's Progress does not have a repair. So we're going to have to run there and run back quickly to facilitate doing this. It's a good example of what you might have to do. There's 3 possible destinations for the Thargoid material. They will be Maia Point, Darnielle's Progress, and Obsidian Orbital. Obsidian Orbital being the primary one, but the other ones are also options that you'll have to go to just to make fairly decent amounts of money.
Integrity compromised.
So I fly shieldless, usually in private group or solo, just to make it easier so that I have access to the goods and to the missions. It's fairly simple once you get the material. The hardest part about this particular endeavor is gathering the materials, which after I grab these, I'll show you how that works as well.
Frameshift drive charging.
And like I said, the risk reward is based on your comfortability, your comfortability with risk, whether you're risk averse or crazy and do stuff like me and add a ton of extra cargo that's corroding my ship as I fly back and forth between the 2 areas. but I'm doing it kind of backwards this time to show you what happens on the money end of it before I show you where you gather the materials. Essentially, I've come back from there with 30 tons of cargo, 10 of each of the 3 types of cargo, and then started the sell process of each one. Sometimes it's really fast. If you can go to Obsidian Orbital for each mission, it's super quick. Sometimes you have to run over to, like I said, Darnell's or Maia Point. Again, this is just a jump conda set up to jump really far. As you can see, my jump range is without fuel 55.2, which is fine. Another tip when you're doing this is to have a lot of different utilities and weapons on board, because as things corrode, you have a random chance of corroding one of your main things, your necessary items like sensors, frameshift driver thrusters. You don't want those corroding, so the more chances you give the random generator of corrosion to hit other items, the better, because who cares if your cannon corrodes or your pack counts corrode or whatnot. In this case, you just worry about the main items: sensors, thrusters, frameshift drive. Everything else is pretty much a non-issue. As you can see, I've got some pack hounds on here, and they're beginning to corrode as well. And I'm just going to muscle my way into here. Number 2. Like, another way to make this, if you really want to make it easier, is to just ignore this and put docking computers or whatnot, but I just want the maximum profit and return, so I stacked 9 corrosive, and then I go with no shield, nothing, just basically max it out. Alright. I'm using a lot of reverse today. There we go. Now, as I said, Darnell's Progress doesn't have repair, so we're still corroding as we sit here, so I need to quickly refuel. Actually, I didn't even need to refuel. Grab the mission board. We turn our mission in. As you can see, there's our number right there. Turn that in, boom, quick 8 million. The reason I didn't get the full 8 million is because I have a flight crew guy that sucks up some of my money. One of my pilots for my SLFs. Sitting at home, he's just collecting a check somehow. Not a bad deal for him.
Ship released.
Alright, now we head right back to Obsidian Orbital. And again, we're not concerned with anything other than sensors or frameshift drivers or thruster corrosion. So essentially I'm getting away as quick as possible and heading out as quick as possible.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
If you decide you want to go with just 6 of each item to pick up, you may be better off with 6 of each, because then that's a total of 18, which can ensure you a couple of different drops on this side before you have to go back to the pickup area. Now, where I pick up these items, the Thargoid, there's 3 types, as I said. There's the resin, biological matter, and technology samples. I picked these up at the Scout crash site. It's on HIP 17125, planet A3A at a certain coordinates, which I will put in the description of this video for your use. Once you get there the first time, you're going to have to scan the scout ship, and then it will automatically show up on your navigation panel on the left after you scan it the first time. After you scan it the first time, you'll get something called the crash site ship analysis. So as you can see, it looks like I scanned it on the 30th, although I had been using the site for a while. And I'm literally just going back and forth between these sites to hopefully get as many of these random generated missions from Professor Palin. And Obsidian Orbital and Maia Point both have repair, capabilities. A Darnielle's Progress does not. So if you're fearful of making it back on time or making it back intact, you can always abandon or choose not to accept a mission to Darnielle's Progress. Log out, log back in another instance, be it private group or solo mode, and come out of Obsidian Orbital and redock, and you should get a different mission. But always make sure you have at least 4 to 8 tons of cargo available so that you can get the missions. Because if you don't have the amount for the amount they're asking for, plus any rewards they're offering, which you won't know that until you accept it, it won't even give you the mission. So I recommend having at least 8 tons of cargo empty at all times so that you can take any mission you want at any time you want. Alright, we're at 2.
Landing gear deployed.
Alright, when we land here, we should get ourselves another mission here from Mr. Palin, or excuse me, Professor Palin.
Docking successful.
And we did.
Engines disengaged.
You'll see that he needs 4 units of technology samples,
Mission objective
which we
complete.
just happen to have. So we get to sit here, immediately go to our mission board. Now we made 8 million from the drop to Darnell's, and we're going to make, it looks like, I don't know, 20 million for this. Gee, that was really difficult. So 28 million in the matter of a couple of minutes.
Hull repaired.
Repair. We will sell the items that we got so that we keep our hold nice and available for only Thargoid. There we go. Let's see what we have left. We have 4 resin, 10 biological, and 6 Thargoid. Since each mission only gives you the maximum of 4, we can for sure complete at least 1 more mission, which is great. So I'll just pop into solo play here. And we're just gonna launch and then come right back in and get another mission. Again, this is all about maximizing the return on the jump back. So that's why I always spread it out, but among the 3 generally I get 10 of each item, 10 resin, 10 biological matter, 10 technology samples when I go to the
Engines engaged.
crash site on HIP 17152. Once I get low on materials or I get a mission that I don't have materials for, then I'll generally head back to the crash site and replenish my supply of 10, 10, and 10, and then I come right back. Again, you can take more than 30, but it gets a lot riskier at that point, because if you lose your canopy right away, if you don't like or know how to navigate by just your instruments, it can become a death trap, to be quite honest with you. So I always advise a little bit of sanity, although I have done as much as 38 tons and I was able to scrape back with no canopy and about a minute of oxygen left, because I'm flying with D sensors. Oh, another thing you can do is you could add a better life support system. Instead of the 7-minute one, you can put a size A, and then you have 25 minutes and you don't have to worry about it. But not me, lightweight.
Landing gear deployed. Hull integrity
Really?
compromised.
Couldn't give me that. I pretty much nailed that landing, and they said fail.
Docking successful.
There we go. What does Palin want this time? 4 units of Thargoid biological matter at Obsidian Orbital, so boom, there we go. And we're just going to turn around and sell it again. So that's 28 million we've made so far. Let's see how much more we're going to get from this wonderful gentleman. Oh my, look at that. 23 million this time. So we've made over 50 million, or right at 50 million, let's call it, in 3 missions. So once again, I will exit. This time I'll probably just drop into a private group just to shake it up. Let's go into my own private group. And let's launch. Now, periodically, when I do a board hop and I go out and come back in, I won't get a mission. If that's the case, I just board hop again. Pretty simple. As long as you have the cargo space, you should generally get the mission. And as long as it hasn't been a small amount of time in the same instance. Again, I generally pop out, hit boost like twice with my tiny undersized 3A power plant on an Anaconda, so do a spin around. Kind of enjoy the Halloweenish look of the jack-o'-lantern there and the green engine exhaust that I have. It was for Halloween. I turned my Anaconda orange with some green trailings, a Halloween bobblehead, and making that cash. All right, popping back in. Number 39. Got my name and number on it. There it is.
Landing gear deployed.
And the key here is to hopefully the random mission system gives me another one of the ones that I actually still have. If not, then I head back out to the site. There we go. Let's see what we get this time.
Incoming mission critical message.
Thargoid biological matter to Maia point. Well, I'm going to accept that because it's a big money paying one.
Objective complete.
Looks like I already have that. I have the biological matter, so looks like I have 6 of them. So I'm headed to Maia Point. Now, Maia Point does have repair services. So that's one you can go to even if you're under duress from corrosion. But as you can see now, I only have 16 total cargo left, which means all of it's safe in corrosion resistant cargo racks. So I don't even have to worry about that at this point. Now I just get to fly over there with no issue. If you get really lucky, all your missions will be at Obsidian Orbital, and this maximizes the amount you can make in an even smaller time frame. As it is, I'm not going to complain for one hop that's going to net me 20 million.
Hull integrity compromised.
I've had this Anaconda for quite some time. Good old Quetzalcoatl. That's the name of the Conda here. Been up and back to Colonia several times with my faction, Carpe Noctem, where we reside in Colonia. If you're ever out there, you can look me up.
Frameshift drive charging.
But I'm doing some bubble
4,
work right now in Maia to make money for myself and our faction. Let's take a look at how much that mission's going to pay. Ooh, it's another big one, 23 million, which is absolutely perfect. Every once in a while, these missions will spring up people that are after you, and it's not that big of a deal because you just avoid the interdiction. When you're flying a shieldless, undersized module Anaconda, you basically try to avoid all combat and all issues. Um, plus your cargo is pretty valuable in terms of what you can get for it. So if you start to get interdicted, you want to make sure that you just break that interdiction. And don't even drop down. Just fight it. It's probably common sense, but I just mention it just the same. As you can see, no corrosion damage is being reported in the info panel because we're no longer corroding, because we're under the magic 18 number that I can carry in my corrosive resistant cargo. So I don't have to worry about it after I get under the 18 number, 18 or under. So at this point, I should be able to do at a minimum 2 more missions because I'm going to hand off 4 biologicals, and hopefully I'll get a mission for one of the other 2 that I have 4 or more of. We shall see. The general technique I use is I go to either Maia Point, Darnell's, and then I just head back up to Obsidian Orbital. Once I get a mission, as I said before, that I don't have stock for, then I'll head back out to the crash site and replenish my stock of 10, 10, and 10 of each of the items. So far this is working quite well. And it shows you at the end of that collection period how quickly and easily you make the money. Just demonstration purposes. Maia Point, all the large landing areas are right here in the middle, so just kind of scooch in and request docking. See what we get. Number 10, no problem. And again, this is less dicey simply because I don't have to worry about corrosion now. That's why I say if you want to make it easy and safe, just take the amount that you can fit in the amount of corrosive cargo resistant racks that you can get from Palin. You can do this without them, but it just becomes kind of dicey. So I recommend that if you have the ability to get the corrosion resistant racks, then just get them. Save yourself a lot of hassle.
Hull integrity compromised.
A nice parking job, huh? Scrape the bottom of that sucker.
Docking successful.
Alright.
Engines disengaged.
We'll do a quick repair because of my crappy parking. Go to the mission board. Now we said we had made about 50 million, so when you add this on, now we're looking at about 70 million. If you don't have a pilot, and I probably would suggest that you just fire him before you start doing this, and which I did not do, as you're actually losing a couple million per mission by having a crew member. So
Ship released. Engines engaged.
I might just actually fire my guy next time at a place with a crew lounge. Alright, now we head right back out to Obsidian Orbital. And as you can see, we have 12 left, 6, 4, and 2. So
Frameshift drive charging.
hoping I get back to Obsidian Orbital and I can get a mission that'll give me 4 of one of the ones I have 4 of, because those paid the biggest amounts. Also, the missions can ask for 1, 2, 3, or 4 tons. 4 being the maximum and obviously giving you the most money, whereas the ones give you the least. Oftentimes, unless I have a lot of extras, I'll just ignore the ones, abandon them, or not accept them. Log out, log back in, and then get a different mission, which you can do. So what I'll do is I'll land here in Obsidian Orbital and I'll end this video with a final mission, whatever that is, and then I'll do a part 2 of this video showing you the collection of the items. So once I run out of this particular missions that need any of these things, then I'll show you what to do at the crash site and where that crash site is. But again, I'll put it in the description too, so you can find it yourself. It's not like it's difficult. Once again, it's HIP 17125. The planet is A3A, so it's a moon of the 3rd planet. And the coordinates, again, I'll put in the description. Let's see what we can get. See if we can get one more really good mission here. Again, we've made 70 million in the time since we've been doing the video. So can't really beat that. Pretty decent return. And if you have any questions or anything about any of the stuff, I think I've covered most of what and how it works, but if not, just, you know, ask and I'll try to answer. Again, as you can see, very, very little risk. Mega, mega reward in terms of credit. I'm not 100% sure if this counts for your trade rank, but I think it does. But since I'm elite, I'm not really registering it, but I think some people have mentioned that this can actually increase your trade rank. So if somebody does know that, let me know. I think it does, because you are doing missions and stuff, so.
Hull integrity compromised. Landing gear deployed.
Let's see what mission we get. See if we get one more good one. Maybe we can just hand it in right here. Wouldn't that be ideal? See if we can get our tally from 70 million up to a little higher for just this one video. Let's see what we can do here. There's the mission. Let's see if we're going to get lucky. Obsidian Orbital, resin. Ha, we can do it. Isn't that wonderful? So we're going to increase our number from about 75 million to, let's make it another 10 million. So we'll call it 80, but without my percentage from my SLF, it would probably be more like 85 or 90. So, all right, well, I'm signing off here. The next video will be when I'm out of these, out of all the different Thargoid resin biological and technology samples, and then I'm going to head out to the site where I grab them all. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.